Whenever you step on the accelerator pedal, that's when it opens. When you let off, that's when it closes.
Buying your first car can be a harrowing experience, especially when confronted with a second-hand car salesman who wants nothing more than to lead you into a quick and unreasonable purchase. And since vehicles often depreciate quite drastically when their ownership passes on to another, you have to make sure that you're investing your money well. But which cars should you be staying away from when test driving across the market? And why do the majority of experts hold this opinion? Well, whether you're looking for a vehicle to get you from A to B or just want to know why some cars have been designated as the worst vehicles to buy, stay right where you are, as we're about to take a look at the second-handers you should try staying away from. So strap yourselves in and get ready for a test drive, as you'll need it for this one. But before jumping right in it though, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so that you don't miss any of our new videos we post. The Chrysler Town & Country. While some reviews suggest that the new and improved Chrysler Pacifica is a great minivan to buy, Chrysler in general hasn't had the greatest reputation over the last couple of years. Due to an incredible number of reliability issues, customer reports all over the globe have suggested that buyers wait a year or two before investing in any model from the manufacturer. This will allow you to see whether the model in question has been plagued by reliability issues of the like. Suffice it to say, when buying a second-hand Chrysler, always make sure that you have the vehicle's history, as Town & Country models from 2008 through 2012 have been notoriously bad. The BMW X5. While BMW is a brilliant manufacturer, with the X5 being one of its flagship models, car dealers have been warned that prior to the vehicle's redesign in 2014, reliability was also a problem. Drivers of the X5 complained about a myriad of issues, which included but were not limited to faulty climate control systems, defective fuel systems, along with issues surrounding engine parts. And if you've ever had to replace an imported BMW part, you'll know just how troubling that last issue was. As such, Consumer Reports recommend that buyers stay away from the 2011 and 2012 BMW X5 models completely, with models up to 2014 also being littered with problems. So if you need a BMW X5, 2015 and upwards is definitely the way to go. The small increase in price will be worth the while by preventing known issues. The Ford Fiesta. Overall, Ford as a manufacturer has had around 9 models show up among the worst of reliability in the world, with its smaller vehicles such as the Fiesta and Focus having the worst performance of any blue oval segment. In fact, Ford Fiestas from the years of 2011 to 2014 stood out in particular with issues centered around the transmission, body integrity, and audio system. And although the parts aren't as expensive as what you'd expect from the BMW X5, it's best to avoid this problematic issues altogether when stopping for a vehicle to get you from A to B. It must also be said that in general, Ford compacts have scored below average in Consumer Reports rankings at the start of the decade, so keep that in mind when shopping. The Ram 1500. Good old American muscle has always been a great seller in the greater United States, with Detroit's own Ram 1500 pickup truck being heralded by most as an American treasure. The truck also scored pretty well in the decade's worth of results in Consumer Reports testing. But that being said, not every year was as great as the last. In 2014 and 2016, the models actually labeled as never buy due to their poor reliability scores. Heavy-duty models of the 1500 from 2012, 14, and 15 were also rated poorly. Worse yet, the most troublesome components of these models appear to be in both the power and braking modules of the vehicle. And if there's one thing you don't want to fail, it's your brakes. The Volkswagen Jetta. Although Volkswagen is one of the most popular and most cost-efficient manufacturers on the planet, its flagship Jetta has been experiencing reliability issues since around 2010. Things only got worse for the manufacturer when 2014 through 16 models began to experience issues pertaining to the audio system, interior finish, and power equipment. This made users of the vehicle wary of using settings such as cruise control with the fear that the system was one use away from causing an accident. The 2010 Jetta showed the same problems, along with the climate control system and other electrical components known to fail every now and again. That's 6 years of the same problem, which poses the question, has Volkswagen learned from their mistakes, or are these problems going to arise once more as time goes by? Surprisingly enough, the Volkswagen GTI also finds its way on this list, with its 2012 and 2013 models being riddled with engine cooling cooling problems, along with brake and suspension issues. The Cadillac Escalade. There was a time where everyone in the world wanted to own a Cadillac Escalade, with the vehicle obtaining a pretty decent resale rating, but between 2015 and 16, the Cadillac started to experience some issues when it came to reliability. Owners of the 2015 model complained about issues relating to the transmission, powertrain, body components, and finish quality. And while the 2016 model improved on a few of these issues, it failed in others ranging from the audio system to the failing power equipment of the vehicle. Because of the trouble faced from this period onwards, Consumer Reports have indicated that both the 2015 and 16 Cadillac Escalade should be avoided at all costs, along with the GMC Yukon and Yukon XL from the same period. Dealing with these problems just to own a Cadillac is simply not worth it, regardless of how cheap the purchase price of the model may be. The Audi Q7. By the year of 2015, the Audi Q7 had become a master of the road, with the vehicle going a full decade without having to be redesigned fully even once. That did, however, change when the 2015 model came around though, with Consumer Reports showing that owners of the model experienced problems with the vehicle's brake system, audio components, and general body integrity, which is important if your brakes aren't that great, right? So if you genuinely want to use your hard-earned cash to buy an Audi Q7, make sure to shop from 2017 models onwards, as these showed drastic improvements and actually went on to win the Q7 top marks when it came to the category of mid-sized luxury SUVs. The Fiat 500. There's a reason why the second-hand Fiat 500 down by the dealership is so cheap. Fiat Chrysler has around 19 models listed by Consumer Reports as being well below average when it comes to reliability. Since Fiat's worst performers of this category is its Fiat 500, be very wary if you find yourself looking at a model from the years 2012, 13, and 15. The 2012 model in particular resulted in a couple of bad days, and proved to be a disaster when it came down to body finish, brake system, suspension, and power equipment. So, since these models both looked terrible and performed horribly, it might be better to spend a bit more money on a Chevy Spark. The Tesla Model X. The Tesla Model X is still one of the greatest cars around because of the high demand and low supply of the vehicle, making it one of the easiest investments to make and profit from, at least insofar as the movable asset industry is concerned. The Tesla Model X, on the other hand, is one of the worst electric SUVs on the market according to Consumer Reports. The 2016 model in particular was criticized for the weakness in its falcon wing door design and general reliability. And if you thought BMW parts were expensive, just wait till you hear about Tesla. This is why the Consumer Reports of late have labeled the 2016 model as a no-buy. The Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD. The Chevy Silverado 2500 HD is a brilliant heavy-duty vehicle when it comes down to it. In fact, it's considered to be one of the best and most luxurious trucks on the market, which still retains its practicality. In 2015 and 16 models, however, scored a lot lower than average on Consumer Reports insofar as reliability was concerned. According to owners of the particular models, issues that arose consisted of trouble with the vehicle's suspension, body integrity, including odd noises and leaks, and the failure of power equipment. Consumer Reports have also pointed out that the 2011 and 2012 models of the Chevy Silverado 2500 HD as being quite troublesome, with the vehicle's models' fuel and brake systems being inherently flawed. Stay away from these specific models and you should be alright though, as otherwise, the Silverado 2500 HD has been pretty on point. The Jeep Grand Cherokee. Like the bad reputation of Fiat Chrysler was able to drum up according to Consumer Reports across the decade, Jeep and its extensive list of models weren't much better. When it came down to the Jeep Grand Cherokee, models from 2007, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 16 were recorded as being far below average in reliability. So if you really feel like you need to walk away with a Jeep Grand Cherokee, at least make sure that you choose one from a year that we haven't listed above. Otherwise, you'll be feeling buyer's remorse quicker than it takes to EFT the purchase price through the dealer. The Mini Countryman. Between the standard Mini Cooper and Mini Countryman, the BMW sub-brands have had their work cut out for them, with Minis often being referred to as one of the most unreliable luxurious vehicles of the decade. Models of the Countryman from 2007 all the way through 11, as well as 2015, had some of the worst reliability ratings ever experienced by the manufacturer, with the biggest issues experienced by drivers being in the wheelhouse of the transmission of the vehicle. All in all, this resulted in Mini being named ranked by Consumer Reports as the least reliable car brand on the US market in 2014. The Dodge Charger. While many Americans appear to go crazy for the Dodge Charger, buying one on the used market requires quite a bit of research. Consumer Reports have not only given the thumbs down on both the 2014 and 15 models of the Charger, but gave absolutely zero recommendations when it came to earlier models on the circuit. Although there's no doubt that the Dodge Charger looks like an absolute champion on the road, reliability is a huge issue, with the last reliable model spanning back to the year of 2011. In other words, you might be better off going for a Mustang. You know, if you really need some American muscle in your life. Disappointed by any of the vehicles you saw on our list? Let us know in the comments section down below.